particularly raucous protest through an Aurora neighborhood has leaders considering limits on where and when demonstrations can occur.
Contact 7 investigates Jennifer Kowaleski, hearing from the councilwoman behind this, the ACLU, and the neighbors caught in the middle.
We left the area.
No ICE, no KKK.
The sounds and chants forced this Aurora neighbor out of his own house.
We had an obstruction out front here where we couldn't get in and out.
As anti-ICE protesters took over his neighborhood, marching outside the house of the Aurora ICE facility warden.
Go home! Get out of our neighborhood!
A month since the chaos, Andrew, who asked us not to use his last name,
I don't want to be subject to any protest myself.
says he's glad to see the city is considering new restrictions for targeted picketing like what happened last month.
It's not appropriate, I don't feel, to have it in the neighborhoods.
Councilwoman Francois Brigand drafted the amendment after hearing from neighbors like Andrew.
Neighbors told me they couldn't let their children out in the evening to play because of the protest that was going on.
The change better defines targeted or residential protests and sets parameters for when and where they can happen. It also makes obstructing streets and sidewalks illegal, a problem they had at the protests.
We're making sure that the neighbors have privacy and that they're protected.
The ACLU says most of the amendment strikes the right balance.
There is a section of this ordinance that is very concerning.
Legal Director Mark Silverstein is talking about the section which restricts picketing from 8:30 p.m. to 8:30 a.m.
Overbroad restriction of the rights of free expression.
That's not the intent.
Brigand says her intent is to focus on targeted picketing, not all picketing, and is willing to make minor tweaks.
If there's an amendment to our ordinance, I'd be happy to look at that.
We didn't do anything to you.
From neighbors like Andrew, this is about keeping the peace outside their front doors.
It impacts so many people. You don't know what kind of violence or anything that will come along with it.
In Aurora, Jennifer Kowaleski, Denver 7.